Hello everyone, Harry Baldock here, editor at Total Telecom. The evolution of 5G and the ICT technologies in recent years have dramatically changed people's lifestyles and greatly influenced the development of new telecom services. Many of these new services have emerged very recently, and today I'm delighted to be joined by Maurice Ma, President of Huawei Software Business Unit Global Technical Service, and John Abraham, Principal Analyst at Analysys Mason, to discuss some of the more interesting services and how this has had some serious implications for the telecoms community. Thank you both for joining me today.
Great to be here, Harry. Thank you.
Very good to be here.
John, I'd like to begin with you and ask you really what trends surrounding digital experience, how have things changed in the more recent years?
So this is actually quite a big topic, but if you go back, I mean, maybe I'll just give some context. And if you go back a few years, for the most part, services were more direct and physical in the sense that, when you had to engage, it often relied on direct contact with any kind of support. And what has changed things over the past, maybe the past 2 or 3 decades, is mainly how the internet has blown up. The software, especially how software has transformed the capabilities of devices and connectivity, and also the adoption of wireless connectivity across the world. I know this is probably going back more than a couple of decades, but that actually has set the context for what we see or what we take for granted today in terms of how we engage, be it with a telco or any other service provider. So what all of that led to, especially over the past maybe decade and a half, is a reliance on a software-based digital engagement model. If you look to how the digital native companies of the world came around and how they conquered the market, they actually relied on a software-centered approach that would help them connect with the end user. Be it the likes of the Netflix and Amazon or Uber, they actually transformed how consumers connect with their service provider, and that has also led to a massive change in consumer behavior and expectations. Customers were no longer content to continue with the old traditional direct engagement model. They wanted to be in control of their engagement. They wanted to decide when and where and how to connect with their service provider. And all of this has had massive implications, not just for the telco industry, but across the world on all types of service providers. Now, this has also, for obvious reasons, big implications on the evolution of telcos as well, because obviously when consumer behavior itself changes, telcos are forced to respond to that. And they have, the digital engagement model is becoming more popular today, mainly because, or at least partly because, of the changing consumer behavior and expectations, but also other factors. I mean, the pandemic has been a key factor here as well, especially with stores shut down and work from home imposed for a good part of the world for a good period of time. Consumers wanted or had to rely on digital channels to connect with the operator. So all of this, what this has led to is there has been a dynamic or a huge radical shift, I would say, from how telcos used to connect with their consumer, even going back as little as 5 years ago to what it is today. And for the most part, it is centered on software that can transform how users, through their own devices, engage with different types of services. And it puts the customer in control. I think that is quite key because this is not about trying to impose another technology or another channel, but it is rather giving customers what they need in a device that they are comfortable with, and then stepping aside for them to, try and engage as and when they need it. So this is, as I said, this has got extensive implications on, how the networks are run, how telco operating models are tweaked, how even the process flow itself, be it for the support functions or even for the network operation functions, all of this has massive implications for the different departments within telco.
Really sounds like a very holistic transformation. Really, really fascinating. And Maurice, from your point of view with Huawei, can you share with us Huawei's best practices for enabling digital life through these digital services?
Okay. Uh, as you might know, Huawei's vision and mission is to bring digital to every person, home, and organization for a fully connected, intelligent world. So far, Huawei software has many excellent practices in helping carriers to explore new digital services. And here, I just want to give you an example. I would like to take inclusive finance as an example, because Huawei provides a one-stop fintech solution, which covering the e-wallet, the digital payments, and microfinances. We leverage a cloud-based platform and a super app, which is very closely revolve around people's daily life. And our solution enables carriers, banks, and localized ecosystem to jointly upgrade the traditional payments and the financial services to, let's say, a contactless and cashless digital method to serve a massive population in the emerging markets. And in past 2021, our fintech solution continued to grow. We are currently serving more than 30 customers, which covering 300 million people, mostly in emerging markets. And the total transaction flow on Huawei's platform has exceeded 350 billion US dollar, accounting for more than 50% of the total mobile financial service flow in the emerging market.
It's been around 2 years since the start of the coronavirus pandemic, and it's clear that digital lifestyle and its kind of heightened sense as we know it today, that's here to stay. And in terms of Huawei's innovations and helping to improve carriers be agile to meet that business need, and how is that changing their business operations and helping them to engage with new users in this landscape?
In terms of agile operation, Huawei's new convergent billing system, we used advanced cloud native capability and fully convergent billing model and comprehensive CI/CD toolchain. And we have an innovative SaaS mode that has been put into commercial use. We use all this technology to help carriers reduce the TCO, shorten the time to market of the service innovation, and we significantly improve the operation efficiency. And I totally agree with the points from John. So regarding the new customer engagement model, Huawei is also striving on innovation. Here I'll also give you an example. As we all know, the traditional call center are the main sales and service channel for enterprise, including carriers to their end users. However, there are still many services that need to be processed at offline customer service center. For example, a user needs to go to the offline customer center to complete the identity authorization and the signature confirmation as part of the whole procedure at this customer service center. This approach is inconvenient for end user, especially during this epidemic time. So we have a new generation intelligent customer engagement center solution. We combine telecom native video technology with intelligent technologies. It provides the omni-channel video capability to cover all the 4G and 5G terminals. It also provides the uninterrupted audio and video switching and the video authentication, the desktop sharing, and online digital signature technologies. All these features help the traditional customer service to streamline the breakpoint between the offline service and online service handling. So we can improve the service experience and efficiency and enable almost all the services to be handled online. Currently, this new customer engagement model is being popularized in China, such as carriers' own business, the government's annual pension audit, and something like the air banking, the air counter for bank, etc.
It's always really interesting to get a perspective from China. John, as an analyst, we've spoken a little bit about the past and the current landscape. In terms of the future, what do you think carriers and enterprises need to pay attention to when it comes to ICT and digital service transformation?
I believe one of the biggest changes that is coming upon us is the overlapping of the enterprise and consumer, or that might actually lead to an eventual merger of them, because if you look to what how things are today, the enterprise consumer is actually working from home, or at least a good proportion of them. So there is already some degree of overlap between the enterprise and the consumer, and that has severe implications for for how some of these telco operations are run and supported. And on the other side, there is also the growing impact of software. I refer to software, and also Maurice referred to software and the key role it plays. But I don't think we have seen the end of it. There is much more to come in terms of how software evolves, be it in terms of AI and how that can actually drive much more deeper automated in working environments. The fact that some of these software can actually replace people in terms of how they offer support to the consumer. So there is still a lot more to come. I think we have seen glimpses of what the future looks like in terms of some specific use cases, be it the use of AI to automatically and maybe even preemptively support customer issues, or be it the use of the same software-based artificial intelligence to support specific use cases in working environments that are not accessible by humans, which might be risky working environments and so on. So there is a lot of work underway already in how to take or change and evolve the working environments and use software to build a higher level of automation and self-operating model. The other aspect of it, again, taking forward a point that I mentioned earlier, is how customer control, which already is something that consumers have grown to like, is probably going even further ahead in terms of the mobile app. We already are used to having a mobile app, but I believe we will see a lot more of action in developing the mobile app and what that means to the operator. For most operators today, even though the mobile app is an important asset, it is still far from becoming the central hub for all engagement. And I think in a few years from now, the mobile app will become the dominant way of connecting with the operator. And it will be widespread. It won't be just a handful of operators here and there, but it'll be widespread. And that again, is all about giving control back to the user. But at the same time, let me also talk about the opportunities all of this actually brings to the operator, because today, if you look at how operators engage, they have quite a focused approach where it's all about serving the customer with what they have for the most part. And that is going to change, because the next phase is all about not just serving the customer with what we have, providing a much more bigger plate of offerings that might come through partnerships with different players behind the scenes. And there is a lot of work to be done there. As a good example, we actually found out in research that when a consumer engages with the operator on the mobile app, if the mobile app is just about the account balance, usage information, and so on, the level of engagement is far lower than when the app contains a lot of other information that, it could be other offers, it could be about, payment for other utility providers, maybe even some kind of a banking system. So when an app offers much more than basic information about their telco usage, there is far deeper engagement and also far higher likelihood of a satisfied customer. So what that means is that operators in the next few years are going to be investing considerably in expanding the capability of the mobile app to not just to retain the customer and to increase the engagement time on the app, but also to improve the overall satisfaction and loyalty. So that's going to become quite a significant addition. And at the same time, on the enterprise side, we are also seeing operators working behind the scenes in trying to partner with different types of service providers, service and application providers whose offerings would sit complementary to their own and can be accessed to through a common unified platform. As I said, there is still a considerable amount of work to be done in terms of developing the platform, in terms of onboarding different type of partners and so on. But I believe that is where we are headed, with the telcos taking on a more broader role, in terms of going up the value chain, becoming more relevant to the enterprise players and so on. And this is where I feel 5G has a very vital role to play, because 5G actually brings to the table a lot more capabilities than telcos have been able to expose in the past with 4G or with 3G. It actually offers, things that enterprises truly value, like ultra low latency, the ability to actually have slices, that could be unique for certain types of applications, edge computing and so on. So 5G enables a lot of technologies that checks the right kind of boxes, for the enterprise, and that hopefully positions telco as a more attractive partner. And that is where, as I said, telcos are trying to partner with complementary solution providers so that they can build an attractive stack of offering.
Certainly sounds like there's tons of opportunity for telcos in this kind of new environment. Maurice, how would you say these trends and predictions are affecting the business direction at Huawei and your strategy when it comes to the software sector?
Okay, thank you, Harry. Looking into the future, Huawei Software will make strategic investments in several directions. And first of all, we will accelerate the evolution of the traditional carrier software solutions towards cloud native and CI/CD to better support the carriers in facing the challenge to operation capabilities brought by 5G, just like John mentioned, and all the new operation scenarios. And secondly, by leveraging Huawei's accumulated telecom and ICT capabilities, Huawei Software will fully expand our business and our solutions for a specific vertical and horizontal industries, such as the fintech solution mentioned earlier for the mobile finance industry, and the new generation intelligent customer engagement solution that help every industry to improve the user experience and service efficiency in various industries. And meanwhile, Huawei will adopt the innovative SaaS business model to provide the services such as we are now providing the online charging solution in SaaS model, and even the BSS SaaS for small and medium-sized enterprise includes the MVNO for telco. And Huawei Software has been in business for over 25 years. So we will continue to invest industry-leading 15% of our revenue into R&D, and we will maintain the market leadership through the continuous innovation and provide the best product and services for our customers.
Thank you, Maurice. The very last question for you. We have MWC is taking place at the end of this month, and Huawei is obviously going to be there. Can you tell us a little bit about the products and solutions that Huawei will be launching at MWC 2022?
Okay, this time, Huawei will release three main things in the software part in MWC 2022. The first one is the next generation cloud native CBS, the convergent billing system, released 2022. And our FinTech 2.0, which is a full stack solution, converts the wallet, the payments, and microfinance. And just like we mentioned earlier, the new generation intelligent customer engagement center solution. So also I'm looking forward to meeting you at MWC 2022. And we host OTF Summit in MWC 2022. So welcome to join.
Thank you very much. I'll definitely do that. John, Maurice, it's been really fascinating to talk to you. Thank you very much for your time today.